All because you couldn't handle the walls. You got the walls and then messed your head up.
Really?
And you went and you proposed to the walls. Not to the woman, but to the walls. And then
Welcome
to the J&O Show.
where we talk about
things that we were never told. I'm Jay.
And I'm O.
And now you know.
If you guys are new to our channel, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your post notifications so you can know when we upload, because you never want to miss an episode. Also, if you guys are new here, if you have ideas for show topics, go ahead and drop them down below in the comment section and write hashtag next show, so that way we can easily filter through and give you more of what you want. All right, so today we are actually going to be doing a reaction video to a reaction video from some YouTubers that we've talked about before that we actually really like and we follow, Abba and Preach. And this particular video is called Marriage Isn't 50-50, it's 100/100. Marriage in Korea versus marriage in the West. And this is interesting because I think we touched on this,
Yeah, like 2-3 weeks ago.
yeah, like a couple of weeks ago. I have to remember what video that was. If I do remember, I'll insert a clip here. If not, just go back and watch all of our videos and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right? Okay. But yeah, that's all I got to say. I don't know, you got something to say?
Yeah, we've touched on this a couple of times, just talking about different types of marriages and stuff, because this would also apply when we talk about arranged marriages and other types of marriages that, quite frankly, I'm not used to. I've been learning about them a little bit since we've been doing the channel, and knowing, it's like you know, but you're not aware, if that makes any sense. And that's how it's always been. But as I've been doing this channel and watching other creators talk about relationships, trying to learn, I've learned, you know, some interesting things about how other cultures view and do marriage and the differences between them and the very Americanized style. Because I don't even know how American marriage compares to like marriage in England and France, you know, all over Europe. Like, is it a huge difference even there, other first world countries? Or like, you know, you really don't know. You can sort of start looking at things through a certain lens and think that everybody is like you, and they not.
Bruh.
True.
Most people ain't like you.
Very
true. So we found this here video. I was very interested. I've been waiting to watch this video for like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, because I didn't want to watch it.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it on the show. So we're trying to give you like our first impression. So we'll see.
Authentic.
Yes.
First impression.
Okay. So we're going to start and see where they go.
YouTuber who's all the way out in Korea, Megan Moon.
So as we know, Korea is very different from my home country of the USA, America. And through marriage, I've also learned a little bit more about some differences that we have in the way that we view relationships and the way that we go about them, etc. So I thought I would talk today about some things that I learned from being married here in Korea. The very first thing that I learned was that marriage is duty. And it's quite different from like kind of what we see like in the Hollywood and in media and stuff.
One. Yeah! Got it! And that's actually why most of marriages fail. You think it's just, it gets better after you get married. You're just gonna cruise there and everything gonna be fine. I'm married now. And you realize you got some work to do.
The word duty is an interesting one. How do you define duty?
It's work that you gotta do.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's the work that you gotta do in order to maintain something. It's a duty.
Yeah, we literally just talked about this. The fact that he's saying it now, I'm like, yeah, we just talked about this, about duty.
Yep.
In marriage and the importance of understanding that it's not just about, oh, I love this person or this person loves me. You have a responsibility, you have a duty to your spouse. And if you have children, you have a duty to your children. Yeah, especially them. You have a duty basically to make sure that you're doing your part for your marriage and for your family, basically to be the best that it can be. But that was a little sidebar.
And one thing that I've been thinking about recently as I'm watching content in the Red Pill community, there's also a greater duty to your community that while men are seeming to have this like awakening, which is good, and they're starting to speak out, which is also good. There's another part of it because there are aspects of it where guys are like, you know, I don't understand why I should get married. There's nothing in it for me. And it's sort of the reason that marriage was done in the first place. It's because you have a responsibility to people other than yourself. And a lot of red pill ideology, not all of it, but a lot of the things you hear is about me, 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 me. It's a very selfish, self-absorbed mentality a lot of times. And I believe that mentality does come out of a certain amount of abuse, which it's normally what happens when you have these revolutions of mindsets about certain things. It's always some type of abuse that's being rebelled against. And inevitably, the people who are rebelling against the abuse go too daggone far. Bruh. So that's pretty much where we at now. We seeing people go too far, and we seeing people that are, I mean, it's just like in politics. You have people who are liberal, you have people who are conservative, you have people who are in the middle, and it's no different in the red pill community. You have people who are very, you know, even keeled and they make sense, and then you got people that just way over there, and you're just like, who is this? I don't understand why I need to get married. I should just pop out some kids. I don't got to live with her. Bruh. So basically you saying F them kids. F them kids. I don't care what they need as long as I get what I need. Yeah. Because children need stability, my friend. Mm-hmm. And being in the house with the person that you choose to have children with is the best outcome for children. Mm-hmm. Maybe not for you, but for your children. And that's why it is very important that you're careful with the mate you choose. Right. It can't just be about love. Now, in your 20s, a lot of y'all ain't gonna listen to this. I'm just being honest, you know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't listen to this. So I would have just like, I loved her and I'm marrying her. That's how it's gonna go, you know? I understand that. But for people who are older, who are not married and are looking to get married, or for people who are young and are looking to learn and not make certain mistakes that, you know, older generations have made, those are things you have to consider. Mm-hmm. That stuff matters. And it's not you know, when I'm tired of them, we can just get a divorce. One of the YouTubers said that every 5 years, it should be like a check-in. He said every 5 years.
What? What do you mean a check-in?
One of the YouTubers said every 5 years, there should be a check-in where you and your spouse can sit down and decide whether or not you want to stay married. Bruh. And decide if y'all just want to check, like if y'all just want to end it. Like, I was like, yo. Bruh, and I'm just like,
really?
Maybe you could, if you can do this if you have no children, because it's really you're just breaking up. But if you have kids, no, that's gonna be a problem.
No, even I mean,
I don't look at marriage like that. But if somebody else wants to get
married,
well, that's the thing. They don't want to get married. No, they were saying that like every 5 years it would be like they would be able to sit down and decide legally where we would be able to divorce without any repercussions for either one of us, financially or anything like that. Like we ain't got to worry about our taxes.
That should be like a law or something like that. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, or something that could be done. And I personally was just like, I mean, I guess so, as long as you ain't got no kids, because once you cross that threshold of having kids, bro, that one is up out the door. That's done.
I got a lot to say about that, but this video is already 10 minutes in, and we only got but a minute into this video, so I'm gonna keep my comments to myself for now. This is probably gonna be like several things. I don't know how this is gonna work, or it's gonna be a lot of editing. We'll see.
And you get into this thing with someone else. You have a duty. The other person has a duty. You sign them up. You have a duty to make it work.
A moral or legal obligation, a responsibility. Now, people hear obligation when it comes to things like marriages, and they're like, there should be no obligations in relationships.
You signed the papers for what, boo-boo?
You made the vows.
You made the vows. You signed the paper. There was a priest involved, a pastor. There was witnesses. You got 2 witnesses. You got on both sides. You come on now.
I'm not mad at you.
No. You have the same elements as when you go to court. You got someone that prosecutes. You got witnesses. You got the signed paper, and you got your sentence for life. And then you think there's not gonna be work? And by the way, when I say I'm not talking to you, Megan, I don't know you. But
no, Megan, do your thing, girl.
Do your thing. It's not you. I'm just talking in general.
Yeah, let her preach.
Go on, Megan.
And I feel like kind of our view of marriage, like in America, is a bit more romantic.
Okay, he dropped a good point. We are definitely not going to get through this in one video. It's also a long video. So I just want to say that, yeah, marriage is a legal contract.
Right.
And if you're religious, it is a religious contract.
Right. You can't just be going and just breaking it just cause.
It is also a social contract. I think a lot of people get married that probably just need to stay dating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
we had a video on that. Why some people just shouldn't get married.
Yeah. A lot of people just feel like you need to, well, you know what it is? A lot of people are checking boxes.
That's true.
I'm supposed to.
True.
Go get my degree, get married, have kids, get a house, get a car, get a pet, have some. A lot of people are checking boxes. Marriage don't give a rat's about you checking boxes. Because when stuff get real, and it will get real, all of that stuff ain't gonna save you. None of that box checking is gonna do nothing. And the funny thing is, not even the people that, I don't know what she was saying. But people just don't know what they're getting into in marriage. It's so much bigger and harder than anybody realizes. And I consider us not having the most difficult of marriages because we tend to get along, and it's still really hard, y'all. This ain't sweet over here, man. It ain't. And
I mean, it ain't sweet.
It's nah, the Disneyfication, nah, bro. It's not sweet over here.
Really?
It's not sweet over here. It's
Really?
not.
Really?
It's hard, bro.
Really?
Yes.
You just make it seem like you just.
She taking it. She's acting like I'm talking about her. I'm talking about marriage, because marriage, when you're married, you're still growing. So there's a lot of self-discovery happening, and your partner is there, and you're no longer the person that they married. So that causes issues there. And it might not necessarily be arguments and knockdown dragouts or anything, but there are adjustments that your partner has to make, and they might not like every adjustment they have to make.
Facts.
And a lot of times they might not necessarily even say anything, because they're like, well, you're growing up, and you're getting older, you're doing this and you're doing that. Your body start falling apart after a while, and I'm just saying, the more stuff you get, the more your body fall apart. So,
nobody got time for that.
It's just so many things that are happening in marriage, and it ain't sweet over here, y'all. I know. And then we always talk about the Disneyfication.
Okay, so we don't.
And it ain't Disney. I'm sorry, it's not. People need to know how hard it is.
No,
the only
I
thing
mean,
that makes it good, if you have a good relationship, it's worth it. It's worth it. There is more that you get out of it than what you have to go through.
Right.
Right? If you have a good... what about the folk that don't have the good relationship marriages, bro? Like, they just suffering. All because you couldn't handle the walls. You got the walls and it messed your head up.
Really?
And you went and you proposed to the walls. Not to the woman, but to the walls. And it messed up everything. That's what happened. You got there on your knees. You begged her to marry you. And she said, yes, I can't believe it. And she was excited as hell. But you ain't married her. You married them walls. Guess what? When you 90, there ain't no walls no more. They gone. They've been retired.
They still there.
They still there, but they ain't in use anymore.
It's out of order.
Yes, it's not. And you can't use the walls either, because your back and your leg and your hamstring and your neck muscles done atrophied because you wasn't exercising your whole life.
Anyway.
Look, this here is rough, y'all. Stop. Okay, she wants to push play. Let's see.
Fantasize. It's like this romantical kind of Disney kind of fairy tale type thing that we like view with marriage. I feel like sometimes we lose a lot of the duty, and a lot of people in marriage just think about, the things that they want to get. Like, I want to get married so I can get this and I can get that and I can have love and happiness and stuff like that. But I notice in a lot of Asian countries, like, they view marriage as duty. Of course, people love each other like when they get married, but There's more of an aspect on the things that you need to contribute and things that you need to do in the relationship to keep it afloat. And I notice when people think of marriage here, they think less about, okay, what am I gonna be getting? Like, give to me, and there's less of this sort of entitled feeling for what you think you should be getting in marriage.
Everybody thinks that marriage is like 50-50. You hear that often. It's not 50-50. It's 100-100. You give 100% of you, I give 100% of me. It's not 50-50. It's not. That's a lie. That's a whole lot of lie. And whenever sometimes I'm going to be at 90%, you're going to give 110. Or even sometimes 120. Think it's 50-50. It's not.
And people tend to focus on how they can make it work and the things that they need to do within that marriage. And one thing that I noticed is instead of people getting their happiness from what they're getting, like I'm happy when my partner's just doing this for me, or when I'm getting this love, or when I'm getting the things I feel like I'm entitled to get, is people feel more happiness in knowing that they fulfilled their duty in marriage.
We moved to a new condo, right? You should have seen my chest. You should have seen.
Well, no. You need to take this 10 steps back to give the context of why that move was a big deal. I know why. They won't understand. So you need to explain a little bit about the financial situation prior and what it meant for you to contribute so that they can get the full picture of why your chest was like this. Because I remember you came in one day and your head was like this. I was like, what happened? I thought you turned into a Final Fantasy character. Like, so I need to so give him everything, please.
I'm gonna tell you this, all right? For the first few years of our lives, I was making more money than her because she was in school. I decided to say, this college, I'm out. I'm gonna go in the world and work. She went to school, did her thing. She applied in a job, and it went good. First few years, I was making more bucks and more bank than her. I was switching jobs and stuff like that. And then she gets promotions. At some point, was asking me, so what does your girl do? And I was like, I don't know. You know why? Because I don't need to know, because she's about to get a promotion in 3 weeks. So knowing what she does, she always switches on me. That shit. And at some point, for the good part of our life, she was making 2 to 3 times my bread. So since I'm not the breadwinner, I gotta cope with others. I gotta fix. I gotta, sometimes I gotta do some shit. Long hours, so whenever she would come back home, I'd have to make the dinner, like you get the, you know what I mean, to hold my own. I had to bring my 100%. Right. Because she was bringing her 100%. Right. We doing great. She able to buy the condo, but then I'm able to gain back to be like, nah, put it on the card. Nah, I got this. you saw how I said? You saw how I said that?
If you see Preacher's bottom teeth in a smile, that's some real shit.
Oh no, put it on the card. I got this.
So it felt good for you to be able to provide the space that you guys were going to live in. It felt like you were able to fulfill your duty.
Duty. That's the thing. And I was, but it's just, I got this goal. I gotta, I still feel like I owe her, That's pretty much it, because all those years she had my back, I gotta get back on it.
That's my turn. Let me handle it.
Let me handle it. We there, and it's really.
And that's the fulfilling part for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, just be able to, okay, whenever you're in debt to somebody, and that's not really what it is, but imagine that you're in debt. Imagine you're indebted to somebody, and you're finally able to pay it. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. I'm talking about respectfully, not throwing in someone's face. I'm talking about like, yeah, here you go. And then you add interest, and you're like, yeah, we good. And then, cool, I got you. Getting someone's back.
After they had yours?
After they had yours, you pay some to your parents and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, this pandemic is happening, and I was talking to my mom. I was like, yo, you are gonna go to Miami this year? It's like, we don't know because we can only fly. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fly you there. I'll fly you, both of you. I'll fly you there, first class. Yeah, but what about the car? We can't rent a car. I'll send it there. Send me the bill.
And I think that's something that's actually really nice because you can't really control what other people do, right? You can't control like if someone's gonna do something for you that day, but you can control the things that you're doing. And I think when your happiness comes from a sense of fulfillment for doing the things that you're supposed to do to keep the marriage running, then I feel like that leads to much longer happiness as opposed to just what can I get, what can I get, what can I get.
Can I just take a second to appreciate how wise that was? She said, if your sense of fulfillment and joy comes from what they do for you, then it's kind of out of your control. Whereas when you get joy and pleasure from being able to give others, and it's always something you can choose to do each day. So there's something that's very nice about it.
Oh no, Megan is on point.
Yes.
She's spitting game right now.
We wasn't talking shit about your wife, Mr. Moon. We showing her some love.
Yo.
I will say, so far, I really like what I'm hearing. Megan Moon is the person that we are reacting to, but Abin Preacher's reacting to her, and we reacting to them reacting to her.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
but no, it's pretty good thus far.
Yeah. So far, they really just talked about duty. That's as far as they've gotten.
Yeah.
And just so how it translates to them. But that's sort of kind of something we echoed, like we said a couple of videos ago. And I think it's one of the things definitely missing in American culture in the sense of what's being promoted.
Right.
I think there are, a lot of individually, I think there are people who are around married folk who are telling them, oh, it ain't what you think it is, and are giving them game. But I think as far as what's being promoted, like you don't never see that. You watch TV shows where they got married couples, whether it's a reality show or they ain't never talking about no duty.
Right.
So, yeah, so that's what they're speaking about. And this is the beauty of having other outlets besides media or standardized media to get your information from, because they don't give you the whole story.
Right.
So,
because they spitting some truth over here.
yeah.
To the young black youths.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Wow. We've been watching the Wu-Tang SAG. So that's what we was watching, the Wu-Tang thing.
Oh boy.
So she's still in that space apparently. Yeah. I like that show. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's gonna wrap it up for this video.
Yeah.
But like we said, we're gonna definitely do a part 2, because I think it's really important to make sure that people understand, especially they touched on something which we'll kind of probably go back to in the next video, about basically both partners giving 100% hence the title,
100,
basically.
100%
from both sides. But we'll continue that in our next combo. All right. Do you have anything else to say?
Nope, I'm done.
All right, guys. Well, till next time, we'll see you. Peace.
That's the out button.